Amara stepped into Grandville International Academy with wide eyes. Everything sparkled, from the gold-trimmed lockers to the marble floors. She had never seen such luxury. The school was for the children of billionaires and royals. But Amara wasn't rich. Her mother worked here as a cleaner. Through a secret scholarship, Amara got a chance to attend the school. She promised herself she would stay invisible. No friends, no trouble, just good grades. But she didn't know that fate had other plans. At lunch, Amara sat alone near the garden. She watched as a group of stylish girls walked past, laughing. They were the popular ones, Bella, Tasha, and Nico. Everyone knew them. Their fathers owned oil companies, banks, and even private islands. Bella, the leader, noticed Amara, but didn't speak. She just raised an eyebrow, whispered something, and laughed. Amara kept her head down. She didn't want problems, but the girls had already noticed her beautiful face and her expensive-looking uniform. They assumed she was new money. Amara's scholarship included a custom-made uniform, courtesy of the school board. She didn't know that the fabric and cut were from a luxury brand that only billionaires used. Rumors started flying. She's probably from Dubai. Her dad must own jets. Amara overheard it, but didn't correct anyone. She didn't lie, but she also didn't tell the truth. A part of her wanted to feel what it was like to belong, just for once. Zane Williams walked into class late, tossing his designer bag on the table. Every girl turned. He was the most popular guy in school, tall, rich, charming. His father was a real estate king. He drove a Ferrari to school and had over 2 million followers online. When he noticed Amara, he did a double take. She was beautiful, different, not like the girls he usually saw. He smirked. "New girl, huh?" She nodded shyly. That's when things really began. To Amara's shock, Zen sat next to her the next day. "What's your name?" he asked. "Amara," she said softly. "Pretty name," he smiled. The girls around glared with jealousy. Bella, especially, didn't like it. Zane never gave any girl attention for more than a week. And here he was, talking to a girl from nowhere. Bella decided to dig into Amara's past. She didn't trust her beauty or her silence. That evening, Amara helped her mother clean the principal's office. Her mother looked tired. "Remember, Amara," she said, "don't get involved with those rich kids. They play dangerous games. Study hard and stay focused." Amara nodded, but her heart was already fluttering. Zane had asked if she wanted to join his group project. It was just schoolwork, right? At Zane's mansion, the study group gathered. Everything sparkled. Chandeliers, fountains, glass walls. Amara felt like she was in a dream. She tried to act normal, but Bella was watching. "So, Amara, which country is your family's company in?" she asked sweetly. Amara froze. "Huh?" "We move around a lot," she said, avoiding eye contact. Zane found it mysterious and smiled. Bella, however, smelled something fishy. That night, Bella called her cousin, who worked in school admin. "Find me everything about Amara," her cousin hesitated. "I think she's on a confidential scholarship, but I will see what I can do." Bella grinned. "I knew it. She's hiding something." Over the next few weeks, Zane and Amara grew close. They laughed, studied, even had lunch together. Amara told him small truths, her love for books, her dreams of becoming a doctor, but she never mentioned her mother's job. Zane started falling for her. She felt it, but also feared it. What if he found out? The school announced its annual grand gala. Everyone was excited. Bella planned to wear a custom diamond gown. Zane asked Amara to be his date. "You will look perfect in red," he said. Amara panicked. She didn't own anything fancy. That night, she cried quietly. "I shouldn't have let this go far." Her mother used her savings to rent a gown. Amara looked like royalty when she entered the ballroom. Everyone turned. Zane couldn't take his eyes off her. You are beautiful, he whispered. Bella was furious. Tonight I will expose her, she muttered. Bella cornered Amara near the dessert table. Enjoying the gala, housekeeper's daughter, she hissed. Amara's heart stopped. What are you talking about? I know your mother scrubs toilets here. You're a fraud, and I'm going to tell Zane. Amara ran out, tears streaming down her eyes. Amara locked herself in the bathroom and stared in the mirror, her reflection blurred with tears. She had never felt so ashamed. She wasn't ashamed of her mother, but of the lie she let grow. I didn't mean to pretend, she whispered. The music in the ballroom echoed from outside. Her heart pounded. Would Zane hate her now? Zane looked around the ballroom, puzzled. Where is Amara? He asked. Bella smirked. Oh, she left. Maybe she had to mop something. He frowned. What do you mean? Bella crossed her arms. Ask her who her mother is. Zane narrowed his eyes. What are you trying to say? But Bella only walked away with a small smile. Amara came out of the bathroom, trying to act normal, but Zane found her before she could escape. Amara, he said, gently taking her hand. Is it true? Is your mom the housekeeper? Her heart stopped. The moment had come. She took a deep breath. Yes, Zane. My mother cleans here. I got in on a scholarship. I never meant to lie. I didn't want to be treated like that. Zane stood silent. He looked into her eyes, reading the pain, the honesty. Finally, he spoke. So all this time, you never cared about my money. She shook her head. I liked you, Zane. Not your car or your name. He smiled faintly. Then you are the only one who ever has. The next day, the story spread like wildfire. Bella made sure of it. Photos of Amara cleaning with her mom went viral in school group chats. Some students laughed, some whispered, but Zane walked into school holding Amara's hand. Anyone who has a problem with her has a problem with me. Amara was summoned to the principal's office. Amara, he said gently, I am proud of your performance, but this attention may affect your scholarship. Her eyes widened. Are you saying I could lose my place here? He sighed. Not yet, but stay focused. No more distractions. Amara nodded, determined to rise above the noise. Despite Zane's support, the other students treated Amara differently. Invitations stopped. Girls whispered when she passed. Boys made rude jokes, but Amara held her head high. She had survived worse. She focused on her books. Her dream of becoming a doctor burned brighter than ever. Zane started changing too. He spent less time at parties and more time studying. He even asked Amara to tutor him. I want to be more than just rich, he said. I want to build something myself. She smiled. Then let's start with chemistry. Bella wasn't done. Humiliation wasn't enough. She wanted Amara gone. So she made a fake Instagram account and posted edited photos of Amara stealing school property. The scholarship thief, the post read. It gained hundreds of views in minutes. Zane saw the post and exploded. He stormed into the cafeteria. Whoever made the fake post is going to regret it. He turned to Bella. You think you are better than her because you wear diamonds. You have nothing she has. Nothing real. The room went silent. Bella looked like she would swallowed a pride and hated it. To Amara's surprise, a few girls from the art club came to sit with her at lunch. We saw what Bella did, one said. It was cruel. You don't deserve that. Slowly, Amara made new friends, true ones, friends who liked her for her courage and kindness, not for her clothes. Report cards came out. Amara scored the highest in school. Even the principal called her to congratulate her. You are going places, he said. Zane grinned. I told you, you are the smartest person I know. She laughed. You just say that because I help you pass phases. Bella's lies caught up with her. The school traced the IP of the fake posts to her home. Her parents were furious. She was suspended for 2 weeks. Her popularity dropped overnight. Zane didn't even look at her anymore. She sat alone, watching the empire she built crumble. At home, Amara told her mother everything. Her mother listened quietly, then she hugged her. I am proud of you, my daughter, not because of Zane or your grades, but because you stayed true to yourself. Amara's eyes filled with tears. That was all she ever wanted to hear. Zane took Amara to a park far from school. No limos, no cameras, just us, he said. They shared ice cream and talked about dreams. I want to open a clinic one day, Amara said. Then I will help you build it. Zane replied, with 3 bricks and real love. The school invited Amara to speak at an upcoming charity gala. Talk about your journey, the teacher said. Amara stood in front of 100 parents and students. Her voice trembled at first, but then she said, I may not come from money, but I come from strength. And I believe every child deserves a chance, no matter where they are from. The room erupted into applause. Even the principal stood. Amara's mother wiped away tears. Zane beamed from the front row. Bella, sitting at the back, stared blankly. She realized something. Amara had become everything she wished to be: respected, admired, loved. As graduation approached, Amara got accepted into a top medical university. Zane was offered an internship at a startup. They promised to stay together, no matter what. On the last day of school, Zane carved something into the old tree in the school garden, to the girl who swept hearts, not floors. After graduation, Amara and Zane spent the summer working on their goals. Amara volunteered at a local clinic, while Zane interned at a tech startup. They met every weekend, even at the park of Amara's modest home. Zane no longer cared about mansions or marble floors. He found peace where there was love. One evening, Amara received a letter from her father, the man who left when she was just 5. He had heard of her success and wanted to reconnect. Amara stared at the letter, heart torn. Could she forgive him? Would meeting him betray her mother? When Amara told Zane, he held her hand. Whatever you choose, choose peace. Don't carry other people's guilt. That night, Amara wrote back, not with hate, but with honesty. She wasn't the little girl waiting by the window anymore. She had grown. Suspended and isolated, Bella spent time thinking. She saw a counselor, started journaling, and even apologized to the school publicly. At first, people laughed, thinking it was fake. But when she joined the school's charity club and began helping underprivileged kids, some began to believe her. Amara found Bella in the library one day, struggling with a maths assignment. She hesitated, then offered to help. Bella blinked, surprised. Why would you help me? Amara smiled. Because we all deserve second chances. Amara stepped into the campus of St. Jude Medical College, her dream school. She wore thrifted jeans and carried second-hand books, but walked like a queen. She had made it not through luck or lies, but through grit. Zane's startup internship turned into a job offer. He was learning coding, business management, and humility. He stopped being the boy who flashed wealth. Now he was the young man who built his future. Despite their busy schedules, Amara and Zane met every Sunday. They would study, eat suya by the roadside, and plan their futures. One day, we will open a tech health hub, Zane said, doctors and developers in one building. During a hospital round, Amara assisted a doctor with a child in distress. Her hands trembled, but her mind stayed sharp. The doctor later told her, "You are born for this." It was the first time she truly felt she belonged. Back at university, some students discovered Amara's past. Rumors began again. Isn't she the cleaner's daughter? But this time Amara laughed. Yes, and the top of my class. Confidence became her armor. Zane's father disapproved of his choices. You are throwing away legacy for a girl. For tech nonsense. Zane stood firm. I am building my own legacy, with one love and purpose. During exam season, stress tore Amara and Zane apart. They argued often, mostly about time. One day, Amara tested. Maybe we need space, just for a while. Zane didn't reply. The silence was louder than any fight. Weeks passed. Amara focused on exams. Zane buried himself in work. They missed each other silently. Their photos still sat on their decks, untouched, like memories frozen in time. After her final exam, Amara stood alone on a bridge. She dialed his number. "I miss you." A pause. Then his voice. "I never stopped missing you." Their hearts began to heal at their old park bench. No flowers, no speeches, just hands held tightly and a promise. "We won't let time or ego steal this again." Amara graduated with honors. Her mother wore her best wrapper, pride shining in her eyes. Zane was there too, holding flowers. "Dr. Amara," he whispered, "you did it." Zane launched a tech startup focused on rural healthcare access. Amara joined as a medical advisor. Together, they built a mobile app connecting villagers to doctors. They called it Bridge Care. Their project won a national award at the ceremony. They were called to the stage. Cameras flashed. Zen kissed Amara's cheek. The audience cheered. Success tasted sweeter together. On a quiet evening, Zen took Amara to the same tree he carved into during school. Beneath it, he knelt. "You swapped my heart. Let me spend my life earning yours." Tears spilled. She said, "Yes." They turned to their school, now as speakers for the graduation class. Amara looked at the new student and said, "Your background isn't your barrier, it's your launch pad." The wedding was simple, no golden hall, just family, friends, and laughter. Amara wore a dress her mother stitched. Zen wore a smile that never left his face. Love didn't need diamonds. Bella, now a social worker, raised a glass to forgiveness, growth, and real love. Amara taught us that grace is louder than gossip. Amara opened a clinic in her childhood neighborhood. She named it Miriam Health Center after her mother. Her first patient was a girl who whispered, "I want to be like you." Zane's app expanded across the continent. Investors came, but he kept the heart of it free. If one child lives because of this, it's worth more than profits. Amara was offered a scholarship abroad. She hesitated. Zane told her, "Go, don't shrink for me. I'll be right here, sharing the loudest." They wrote letters, sent voice notes, and stayed close despite the distance. Their love grew stronger, not weaker. It learned patience. After a year, Amara returned. Zane picked her up at the airport with a banner. "The queen is back." He danced terribly. She laughed until tears rolled. Years later, they had a daughter. They named her Hope. She grew up hearing bedtime stories of her mother's bravery and her father's loyalty. One day, Hope asked, "Mama, what did you do before you were a doctor?" Amara smiled. "I cleaned floors and dreamed big." They grew old together, building more clinics and teaching more hearts. Their story was never about money. It was about rising from the ground, holding hands and showing the world that love, pure and persistent, changes everything. True value lies not in popularity, appearance or power, but in character, honesty and resilience. Those who act from love and sincerity will always outshine those driven by envy or pride. Your character, not public opinion, defines who you are. Truth always has a way of rising, and integrity is unshakable in the face of lies. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stand tall, in silence, and let time prove you right. In a world where appearances often overshadow truth, this story teaches us that authenticity, kindness, and resilience will always shine through. Let others underestimate you. Just make sure you never underestimate yourself. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bye.